Dr. D. Govardhan, Professor Emeritus, Department of Aeronautical Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Today we are discussing the topic mass moment of inertia, Palas theorem. It is also called transfer formula, mass moment of inertia of the composite bodies. Okay, the course outcomes: calculate the moment of inertia and mass moment of inertia of a circular plate, cylinder cone, and sphere from the first principle. Topic covered: mass moment of inertia, Palas theorem, is also called transfer formula, mass moment of inertia of composite bodies. Topic learning outcomes: understand the concept of mass moment of inertia and area of moment of inertia involved in practical engineering problems. Here the mass moment of inertia is defined as the product of mass and square of the distance between the center of gravity of the two mass from the reference line is called mass moment of inertia about that axis. Here we are considering, here M is representing this mass of the body, and X and Y is representing the position of centroid of that object with respect to the y-axis as well as the x-axis as shown in figure now. This mass moment of inertia is represented generally by using Im. Hence, the mass moment of inertia about the x-axis is represented as Im xx. Similarly, the mass moment of inertia of the mass about the y-axis is represented as Im y now. Similarly, the mass moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to the plane at a given point is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about any two mutually perpendicular axes through the same point O lying in the plane of the mass. This law is known as perpendicular axis theorem. Here we are taking the dm is representing this mass of the body, which is at a distance of x-axis as well as the y from the y-axis as well as the x-axis as shown in figure. According to the Palas theorem, the moment of inertia of that figure, that object, about the axis which is perpendicular to the plane. As in at O, it is represented as now here z-axis is equal to the moment of inertia of the same object about the two axes which are perpendicular to each other and passing through that intersection of the axis. That is, Izz is equal to Ixx plus Iyy. This is known as perpendicular axis theorem. That is, the perpendicular axis theorem can be defined as the moment of inertia of mass about an axis perpendicular to its planes, that is Izz, at any point O is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about any two mutual perpendicular axes passing through the same point O and lying in the plane of the mass. Not just proving, let us consider an elementary mass dm which is kept in a plane at a distance of r from the reference line as shown in figure. Let x, y is representing the coordinates of centroid of the mass with respect to the x-axis and the y-axis. So then, the moment of inertia of this elementary mass about the z-axis, which is passing through point O, that is Izz, it is given by mass into the product of the mass into square of the distance, which is equal to sigma r square into dm now. That is r square into dm. That entire mass is obtained by the integration of sigma r square dm now. So, which is equal to, since according to the geometrical figure, R square is equal to the sum of the square of x square and y square, which is can be written as sigma x square dm plus sigma of y square dm, which is equal to ix plus iyy. So this iz, it is called the moment of inertia about z axis. It is also called polar moment of inertia. Now Pallas theorem now. The Pallas theorem can be defined as the moment of inertia about any axis in the plane of the area is equal to the sum of the moment of inertia about a parallel central axis and the product of mass and the square of the distance between the two parallel axes. So according to this figure, let G is representing the center of the body which is having mass as shown in figure. Then GG is representing the central axis, that means the axis which is passing through the centroid. Now the moment of inertia of the body about a line AB parallel to the GG is given by according to the Pallas theorem as IAB is equal to IGG plus area multiplied by the square of the distance between the line AB and GG now. That means IAB is equal to IGG plus MYC square according to the figure, where YC is representing the distance between the lines AB and GG now. M is representing the mass of the body. Here consider an element parallel strip DM at a distance of Y from the central axis as shown in figure. Then the moment of inertia of that entire mass about the line AB is given by the product into square of the distance, which is equal to IAB is equal to sigma of y plus yc whole square into d. So on expanding sigma, y plus yc whole square is equal to y square plus 2yc plus yc square into dm. So again on expanding, it is equal to the sigma y square dm plus sigma of 2yc into dm plus sigma of y square dm, where sigma y square dm is representing the moment of inertia of the area about its central axis GG now. Hence it is represented as IGG now. And 2yc dm is equal to, since in this case 2 is a constant, yc is the distance between GG and AB, it is also remains constant. Hence the remaining values is 2yc is sigma y dm. It is equal to, on multiplying dividing by mass, we got 2yc into m into sigma y dm divided by sigma y dm. This sigma y dm divided by sigma dm, it is representing the position of center of the element with respect to the reference lines. But here the reference lines GG is nothing but passing through the central axis. Hence this distance is treated as 0 values now. Now the term is there now. Sigma, last one, sigma yc square into dm. It is now representing that entire mass multiplied by the square of the distance between the two parallel lines now. Hence it is treated as now I G M B M yc square now. So now the moment of inertia of the entire section AB is equal to, which is equal to IGG plus myc square, where IGG is representing the moment of inertia of the entire section about the central axis, plus m is representing mass, yc square is representing the square of the distance between the parallel lines AB and GG. This principle is called here now Pallas theorem. Here this is only applicable when the two reference lines, what we consider AB and GG should be parallel to each other, and one of the parallel line must be passing through its centroid. The moment of inertia of a uniform thin rod. The mass moment of inertia of a rod AB of length L as shown in figure. To determine the moment of inertia of the rod about an x-axis which is passing through the left side of the figure as shown in figure. Let M is representing the mass per unit length of the rod and capital M is representing the total mass of the rod, which is equal to M into L and represented in equation number 1. Now consider a strip of length dx at a distance of x from the reference line as shown in figure. This mass of the strip is equal to length multiplied by the mass per unit length, which is equal to M into dx now. The moment of inertia of the strip about the y-axis is equal to mass of the strip multiplied by the square of the distance between the center of gravity of the strip to the reference line, which is equal to M into dx into x square now, or which is equal to mx square into dx. The moment of inertia of the whole rod about the lines yy, which is equal to Iyy, will be obtained by integrating the above equation now from the limits from 0 to L, that is the length of the object. Hence, Iyy is equal to 0 to L mx square into dx. On integration, we got mx3 divided by 3, limits from 0 to L, or it is equal to ml cube by 3, which is equal to m into L square by 3, where lowercase letters m into L is representing the total mass of the rod. Hence, Iyy is equal to ml square by 3. This is our required answer. That means moment of inertia of the rod about the vertical lines, which is shown in figure now. The moment of inertia of a rectangular plate. Here the moment of inertia of the rectangular plate about an axis, about the x-axis, passing through the GG of the plate. The figure shows the rectangular plate a width B, depth D, and T representing the thickness now. Now let us consider a small element which is at a distance of y from the reference line, that is the bottom figure, that is the x-axis we have taken now, having thickness is equal to dy as shown in figure now. So the area of the strip is equal to B into dy now. The mass of the element is equal to, that is the density multiplied by the volume of the element now. So which is equal to, assume just rho is representing the density of the materials, volume is equal to area into thickness, area is given by B dy into T, hence this value is equal to rho Tb dy now. The mass moment of inertia of the element about the x-axis is given by mass multiplied by the square of the distance. Here mass is equal to rho Tb dy into square of the distance equal to y square, which is equal to rho Tb y square dy. The mass moment of inertia of the plate will be obtained by integrating this above the equation from the limits 0 to d to get the moment of inertia about the line AB or the x-axis, which is passing through the bottom of the plate now, which is equal to Ix is equal to rho T into 0 to d into by square dy. Hence B is also constant. It can be written as rho Tb into 0 to d y square dy. So on integration we got to rho Tb into y square integration is y cube by 3. Limits are 0 to d. So it is equal to rho T B into dq by 3, or finally we got rho T B dq by 3 now. Here the mass is representing the mass is equal to, here the volume, it is the product of volume and density of the materials. So volume is given by, it is the product of breadth, height and thickness. Hence m is equal to, we can take it as rho T B d. So the remaining value is equal to m d square by 3. This is representing the moment of inertia of the rectangular plate about the line AB, which is passing through the bottom of the figure now. Here, in order to determine the mass moment of inertia of the plate about its central axis, the central axis always passes through the, here now, this half of the depth. Here assume this is nothing but representing the GG line. So according to the parallax theorem, IAB is equal to IGG plus AH square now, where A is representing the, here it is equal to the mass, which is equal to, that is the IAB is equal to IGG plus MH square, where M stands for the mass of the body, H stands for the distance between the two parallel lines AB and GG now. So IG is equal to, we can take it as IXS minus MH square now. So which is equal to, IXS is equal to MD square by 3 minus half MH is equal to, that is the distance between AB and GG is equal to T by 2 whole square, which is equal to MD square by 3 minus half MD square by 4. Finally we got MDQ MD square by 12. This is the moment of inertia of the rectangular plate about its central axis. The moment of inertia of the hollow rectangular plane. Now let us consider a hollow rectangular plate having external dimensions as capital B is representing the breadth of the outer rectangle and capital D is representing the depth of the outer rectangle. The thickness remains constant. Similarly, for the inner rectangle, B and D represent corresponding values for the quarter rectangle, which is having uniform thickness as well as the density is equal to rho now. So the moment of inertia of the outer rectangle ABCD is given by, about the x-axis, which is passing through its center of gravity, rho T B D, that is nothing but representing the this mass, here M D square by 12 now. Similarly, the mass moment of inertia of the quarter rectangle is given by rho T B D D square by 12 now. The mass moment of inertia of the hollow rectangular section about the x-axis is obtained by the difference values of mass moment of inertia of outer rectangle to the mass moment of inertia of the quarter rectangle, which is equal to rho T B D D square by 12 minus of rho T lowercase letters T B D D square by 12 now. Okay, similarly, IYY is equal to, that is the mass moment of inertia of the hollow rectangular plate about the y-axis is equal to M B square 12 minus of M B square by 12, where capital M is representing that mass of the outer rectangle, this M is representing the mass of the lowercase letters, M is representing the mass of the quarter rectangle now, where B stands for the breadth of the outer rectangle and the small lowercase letter representing the breadth of the quarter rectangle. These relations holds good when the center of gravity of the outer rectangle as well as the inner rectangles are constant with each other now. The moment of inertia of a circular section now. Now consider a circular plate ABCD as shown in figure. Having radius is equal to capital R, and capital D is representing its diameter, which is having the density rho and uniform thickness T. Let x dash and y dash is representing the two reference lines which are passing through the CG of the circular plate as shown in figure. Now consider an elemental strip which is at a distance of small r from the center of the circle, having thickness is called dr as shown in figure now. Then mass of this strip is equal to area multiplied by the thickness, that is the volume, again multiplied by its density now. So which is equal to rho density, T the thickness. The area of the ring is equal to 2 pi r into dr. So which is equal to rho T into, now the mass moment of inertia of the elemental ring about the z-axis is given by the mass multiplied by the square of the distance. Mass is equal to dm into r square, where dm is equal to rho T into 2 pi r dr into r square, which is equal to rho T into 2 pi r cube dr as shown in figure now. Now the moment of inertia of the whole section, which is obtained by integrating above equation from the 0 to r, that means 0 to r integration of rho T 2 pi r cube dr, which is equal to rho T is the constant, 2 pi is also constant, hence the integration limits from 0 to r cube dr, rho T 2 pi r to the power of 4 divided by 4, the limits are 0 to r now. So Izz is equal to rho T pi r to the power of 4 divided by 2, which is equal to here m, where m stand for the volume multiplied by the density. Volume is equal to here pi r to the power of 4 into T into thickness, hence the remaining values are m into r square by 2 or m d to the power of 2 divided by 8 as shown in figure now. But here Ixx plus Iyy is equal to Izz according to the Pallas theorem, and Ixx and Iyy both are equal since the object is symmetrical about the vertical line as well as the horizontal lines. Hence Ixx is equal to Iyy, which is equal to Izz by 2. Hence Ix is equal to m d square divided by 16 now. The moment of inertia of a hollow circular section. Now consider hollow circular section with the center O, and the x-axis is representing the horizontal axis passing through the centroid, and y dash is representing the vertical lines passing through the centroid as shown in figure. Let capital D is representing the diameter of the outer circle, and small d is representing the diameter of the cutout circle, and rho b the representing the density of the materials, and assume it's having uniform thickness of T. The moment of inertia of the main circle, it is equal to, about the x-axis is equal to m d square by 16, where m stands for the mass of the outer circle and d is representing the diameter of the outer circle now. Similarly, the mass moment of inertia of the cutout section is equal to, about the x-axis is equal to m d square by 16, where small m is representing the mass of the cutout circle and the small d is representing the diameter of the cutout circle now. Then the mass moment of inertia of the hollow section is the difference of moment of inertia of the outer circle to the moment of inertia of the cutout circle, which is equal to m d square by 16 minus m d square by 16. Here 1 by 16 is the common. The remaining value is m d square by m d square, where capital M d square minus small m d square now. So these relations holds good when the center of gravity of the outer circle as well as the cutout circle both are coincide with each other. The mass moment of inertia of the triangular section. Here consider triangular section ABCD as shown in figure, which is having base is equal to B and H is representing height of the triangle and rho B is representing the density of the materials and having uniform thickness T as shown in figure now. Now consider a small strip parallel to BC at a distance of y as shown in figure, which is represented here as PQ, having thickness is equal to dy now. So the area of the strip is equal to the length of the PQ multiplied by the thickness dy. The PQ length, that is strip length, it is varying from BC at the bottom, that is equal to B, to 0 to A as shown in figure now. Hence, the value of the length of the PQ at a distance of y is obtained by considering ABC as well as the APQ are both the similar triangles now. So, when you consider similar angle, PQ divided by BC is equal to H minus Y divided by H now. So, from this relation we got to PQ is equal to B into H minus Y divided by H. So, area of the strip is equal to PQ into dy. So, PQ is equal to B into H minus Y into divided by H into B. Then moment of inertia of this strip about the BC is obtained by multiplying its mass with the square of the distance between these two lines now. So, which is equal to IBC is equal to mass is equal to density multiplied by the volume, that is rho T into area into square of the distance, which is equal to rho T, area is equal to B into H minus Y divided by H into dy, distance square of the distance is equal to Y square now. So from this relations now, rho T, B into H minus Y by H into Y square dy now. So again I am expanding now. Here rho T, B by H is the common now. And moreover these are the constant values. And expanding we got H Y square dy minus Y square Y cube dy. Now the moment of inertia of the entire section is obtained by integrating above the equation from 0 to H. Hence, IAB is equal to, here we are taking IBC is equal to rho T into B by H, these are the constant values, 0 to H, Hy square dy minus Y cube dy. So, rho T into B by H, the integration of these values is equal to Hy square dy integration values is Hy cube by 3 minus of Y cube dy integration is Y to the power of 4 divided by 4 now. So again, the rho T B by H and substituting the values of 0 and H now. When you are substituting the values 0, yes, everything is becoming 0. When you are substituting H values, the values is H4 by 3 minus of H4 by 4, which is equal to rho T B by H, 4H square minus 3H square by 12, which is equal to rho T B H cube by 12 now. But here, rho T into, the area is given by half into base into height, that means B into H. The remaining values is H square by 6. Hence, rho T into area, that is half into BH is equal to representing the mass of the triangular plate. The remaining values is H square by 6. Hence, the moment of inertia of the triangular plate about the line BC, that is IBC is equal to mH square divided by 6 now. Now, in order to determine the mass moment of inertia of the triangular plate about the central axis, here assume this is there now, GG, which is at a distance of h by 3 as shown in figure now. The moment of inertia of the triangular section about an axis through its center of gravity and parallel to the x-axis is given by Ig is equal to IBC minus MH1 square, which is equal to IBC is equal to, already we determined, which is equal to MH square by 6 minus half M1, H is equal to here H by 3 whole square. From this relation we got MH square by 6 minus half MH square by 9, which is equal to M3M H square minus 2M H square divided by 18, which is equal to MH square by 18. Similarly, the moment of inertia of a semicircular section plate now. Here we have to determine the moment of inertia, mass moment of inertia of the semicircular plate about the diameter AB now. Let us consider capital I is representing the radius of the semicircle, T is representing the uniform thickness of the plate, and rho is the density of the materials. The moment of inertia of the semicircular section about in a base AB is equal to the half of the mass moment of inertia of the circular plate about the diameter AB now. Therefore, the moment of inertia of the semicircular section about the base is equal to IAB, which is given by rho T pi d to the power of 4 divided by 12 by 2 divided by 64 now. Hence, this equation is equal to rho T into pi d square by 4 into d square by 32, which is equal to m d square by 32 or mr square by 8 now. Similarly, the product of inertia and transfer formula. The product of inertia, now it can be explained as now, consider an element dA in a reference planes xy as shown in figure. Let dA is representing a small elementary mass, which is at a distance of xy with respect to the reference lines as shown in figure now. Now the product of inertia for the area dA is defined as the area multiplied by the coordinates of the elementary area with respect to the reference lines. That is the dIxy is equal to xy into dA now. So the product of inertia of the entire area is obtained Ixy, it is equal to integration of xy dA now. The transfer formula for the product of inertia. The Paulus theorem for the product of inertia is similar to the Paulus theorem of the moment of inertia and is expressed as Ixy is equal to Ig x dash y dash plus AHX into HY now. This relation is called transfer formula for the product of inertia. The term Igx dash y dash is the product of inertia with respect to the centroidal axis. The mass moment of inertia of the solid cone. For determination of mass moment of a solid cone, here we are considering a right circular cone. That means its axis is always perpendicular to its base now. Let H is representing the height of the axis and capital R is representing the radius of the base circle as shown in figure. Now, keep this right circular cone in such a way that the axis should be in horizontal position and it is treated as x-axis The line which is passing through the apex, that is O, and perpendicular to the x-axis is treated as the y-axis now. Now let us consider a small ring at a distance of x, having thickness is equal to dx, and radius is equal to r as shown in figure, small r now. Now, according to this triangle now, it is in the form of, if I take with respect to the upper part, it is like in the form of like this. It is equal to r. Here it is nothing but equal to small r. This distance is given x, and this distance is equal to the height of the cone now. Now, the similar triangles if I take now, O, A, B the one similar triangle, and second one is O, C, D is the one more triangle now. Now, because of the similar triangles, from the geometry we got to r by x is equal to capital R divided by h now, where r small r is representing the radius of the circle considered, which is at a distance of x having thickness dx, and capital R is representing the radius of the base circle. Hence r by x is equal to r by h, where r is equal now capital R into x divided by h now. The moment of inertia of circular lamina about an x-axis is given by mr square by 2. So, where m stands for the mass of the element now, which is equal to density multiplied by the volume and r square by 2. Here area rho is equal to density, volume is equal to area multiplied by the thickness, area is equal to pi r square, thickness is equal to dx into r square by 2, which is equal to rho into pi r to the power of 4 into dx by 2 now. Or it can be written as now 1 by 2 rho pi r to the power of 4 x to the power of 4 divided by h4. After substituting the values of r is equal to rx divided by h from equation number 2 now. As in this is the equation number 2 now. The mass moment of inertia of the cone about the x-axis, that is the axis of rotation, is given by I-axis, which is equal to 1 by 2 rho pi r to the power of 4 divided by h to the power of 4. These are the constant values. Now integration from 0 to h, x to the power of 4 dx now. So again the constant values 1 by 2 rho pi r to the power of 4 divided by h to the power of 4. The integration of x to the power of 4 dx is equal to x to the power of 5 divided by 5, having the limits 0 to h now. So on substituting the limits, we got to 1 by 2 into rho pi r to the power of 4 into h by 5 now. So which is equal to, and multiplying and dividing that 3, we got 3 into 1 by 3 into rho pi r square h into r square divided by 10 now. So here 1 by 3 pi r square h is representing the volume of the cone now. Rho, when we are multiplying, it gives the mass now. Hence it is equal to 3 into mass into r square by 10 now. So Ix is equal to 3 by 10 into mr square. This is the mass moment of inertia of the right circular cone about its axis, that is the axis of rotations. Okay, these are the summary of the today class now. The mass moment of inertia of the elements, that is circular disc, about the x-axis given by mr square by 4. Similarly, about the y-axis is equal to mr square by 4. That is the axis is nothing but which are passing through the central axis. Then Izz is equal to, that is polar moment of inertia is equal to mr square by 2 now. For the sphere, it is equal to Ix is equal to 2 by 5 mr square. Similarly, Iz is equal to, Iy is equal to 2 5 into mr square. Similarly, Iz is equal to 2 5 mr square. That means the values remains constant along the x-axis, the y-axis as well as the z-axis. Now, the mass moment of inertia of right circular cylinder is equal to m by 12 into 3r square plus l square, which is along the x-axis. Similarly, along the y-axis is equal to having the same values m by 12 into 3r square plus l square, and along the z-axis is equal to m by 2 into r square. It is similar to the circular disc now. Now, right circular cone Ix is equal to 3 by 10 into mr square. Iy is equal to 3 by 5 m into r square by 4 plus h square. Similarly, Izz is equal to 3 by 5 m into r square by 4 plus h square now. The moment of inertia about the rectangular plate, it is obtained m b to the power of 4 by 12 along the x-axis, m a to the power of 4 by 12 along the y-axis, and along the z-axis is equal to m into a square plus b square by 12, where a is representing the breadth of the rectangle and b is representing the depth, t is representing the thickness of the rectangular plate now. For the rectangular prisms, let A is representing the base, C is representing the width, and B is representing the breadth, that thickness. Then Ix is equal to m into b square plus c square by 12. Similarly, Iy is equal to m into a square plus c square by 12. Iz is equal to m into a square plus b square by 12. Okay. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.